Let's talk hustle.
Let's talk hustle. All right, I'm back here with Matt Smith. Matt, you're running it back for another season. How you feeling?
Honestly, I feel great. I'm pumped. The time off, I'm getting a little antsy. It's been what 6, 7, 8 months now, but that did wonders for my joints. So my joints feel as good as they've ever felt. I didn't even know my joints were sore until I stopped running around for 2, 3 months. So my body feels good. I'm old, but I'm not that old, and we've got a lot of fresh young pieces. I'm pumped. It's first bit of good news I've had in a while with that vaccine. We'll see what the deal is there, but I've actually started thinking about the 2021 season again, and I'm super pumped to take the field.
Absolutely. I think we're all latching on to any good news that we can. I think for a lot of folks, it's probably not news that you signed with the Atlanta Hustle at this point. Um, I would venture to say probably be a bigger headline if you signed with another team and not with the Hustle. At this point, do you feel like this is your team?
No, I wouldn't say that. I know that I've had a long history with the team. I know that I have, a good handful of the records involved with it. Um, Coming for completions, Kyle Stapleton, one more game away. We'll see. But I don't know. I wouldn't say it's like my team. I'm not even a captain anymore. So there are lots of people who are putting in a ton of work. I've also always said like I catch the goal, but that doesn't show a lot of the work and a lot of the plays that other people are making behind that. And so, you know, uh, there's 7 people on a line and 20 on the roster on game day. And we've got some ballers. We've got some absolute ballers coming up. So I'd like to think that I embody the hustle, but it's not my team. And I'm just an old dog trying to learn new tricks.
Yeah, so maybe you can talk a little bit about like what you do feel like your role is on the team, like from that perspective as a leader, and like how you use your voice, and then more specifically, like maybe projecting who you think could be filling in that role in the future, like people who have maybe the potential to do that just because of the output that they have on the field, and then maybe people who just have the personality, the gravitas to be a leader.
Yeah, I guess I think the biggest thing I can do with my voice is just hold people accountable. I think in a way that others can't, whether that's some light-hearted trash talk or whatnot. Um, I think there's a certain amount of respect from the younger guys. I thought about this the other day with some of the rookies. They're literally getting like I think it's 0 AUDL points played, and I'm at like 1,500 or something like that. Maybe that's too many, but um, I've seen a lot in the AUDL and played a lot of points there, and so I think the younger guys respect that, and I think teams kind of need somebody to say when things aren't going right, need somebody to kind of pump them up. As you know, I don't always paint a super happy picture during a game or in the huddles. I try and paint a realistic picture of what's going on, and then trying to get people to sort of live up to their full potential. However, I can get them to do that. So, yeah, I guess that's what I do with my voice is, just try and say what needs to be said and leave it at that. As far as people kind of coming up who I think might have a little bit of that in them. I think Kelvin recently, especially, has really stepped up as a vocal leader, especially on the D line side. I think he feels a little more comfortable with the schemes, a little more comfortable with himself as a player, and I think people like listening to him. We'll see. I think Antoine, I haven't played with him, but I know he's been a captain on previous teams, and I know already I can see a little bit of that fire, and that's a big thing for me. Is I think you want somebody that uh, is thinking about the game and has a cool head, but when you're talking in the huddle, and what a lot of people respect is they respect your heart, and they want to know that you care, and they want to know that you are giving everything you have, and then I think people follow that. So I see a lot of that fire in Antoine. And I think, I'd be curious to see what that looks like on the field and how he is as a leader. But, that initial personality is there. Trying to think who else is that. I think Christian Olsen has been a great co-captain for a number of years. He's not as fiery, not as not a big yeller, but I think it keeps a really cool head. Maybe he's that guy. I think we did a good job with a little bit of yin and yang of good cop, bad cop a little bit. He's definitely a good cop, and I think there's a time and a place for that. So yeah, that's what I see right now. And then to be honest, we, this past year we had a handful of rookies, like a lot of new people coming in, and I think a lot of them were very confident in a good way. And so I'll be kind of curious to see who steps up vocally and kind of on the field as well in the next few years.
Yeah, it's like that combination of the two, right? You gotta walk the talk. You got to show up on the field as well as put all the work in, behind the scenes and in the huddles.
Yeah, I've always said I don't think your captain has to be your best player, but it helps, right? Like if you're gonna have somebody come down and tell you what to do, like you want to know that that person is also getting results, or that they're telling you what to do because they know what they're talking about. And so, again, I don't think it always has to be that way. They're not, leadership and on-field skills are not, it's not a perfect circle. It doesn't overlap like that, but it certainly helps out if the person telling y'all what to do is pretty good at what they're doing.
Absolutely. Now you mentioned Antoine Davis, which was the splashy signing that we recently announced. Everybody's super excited about that. He mentioned that he thought that you two could be good complementary pieces. He says he likes to make a lot of vertical cuts and score the goal. I know you like to score the goal too, but in different ways. How do you see that working out?
I wouldn't want to guard the two of us, I mean, you got to kind of pick your poison. I mean, I think teams will have kind of a big guy and a small guy to line up and try and match up in that way. So, we're not exactly like the Twin Towers or anything, but I do agree. I think, we are dominant in different spaces, like he said. I'm still going for 60, 70 yards if someone lets me, but, I've seen the Antoine highlights. I've ran next to him, and, if he gets that open look going that kind of distance and, putting the disc up to him feels like a safe bet. And, the Atlanta offense and myself, I've done deep cuts and I've done a lot of really little squirrely movement the last few years, a lot of give and goes, short little passes, dinking it up the field, and that's been pretty effective. So, I think he's just a dynamic player that kind of opens up the options that we have. I think I've been an effective deep cutter, but there are definitely times when I wish I had 6 inches of height as I'm waiting for a disc to come down, and now we have somebody that can really dominate in that space, and I'm excited to match up with teams and see how they match up. Just more problems they have to solve.
Yeah, absolutely. The matchups slide down too, right? Like maybe they can put a Bradley St. John's on you in one situation, but now with Antoine on the field, do they maybe have to think about putting him there? And does that make everybody, that like, does it shift down till eventually the mismatch is on the offense, right? Like I think Daniel Cohen had that tweet about what our potential cutting core looks like, and it didn't even include Will Lindquist. So it's like if that ends up being the strength of the 2021 hustle, that we have 7 like nasty cutters, like we're just putting up numbers, like you're not going to be able to cover us for a whole game.
Yeah, and let me be clear, they could never put Bradley St. John's on me, so let's get that out of the way first. But no, I think you're right. That tweet by Daniel Cohen has actually like got me super pumped because I hadn't really thought about it. But I think he said, I think dynamic was a really good word he used. Because I think the athletes and the playmakers that he mentioned and that we're picking up, I think, adding, Eli Jaime was obviously super explosive talent. We've got him coming back. Christian Olsen is looking better than ever. Just made Team USA, feeling confident. He's always been a super dynamic player. I'd like to think myself and Kelvin making plays out there, but that wasn't, that we're adding back Parker Bray, who, in some ways top 3 most athletic dude on the team when he's in his bag. He's an impossibly talented player to stop, and like very excited about that. And then obviously, Jakeem and Antoine highlights speak for themselves, especially with the dynamic aspect of it. We're gonna be fun to watch. That's the only thing I will guarantee is like we'll be super fun to watch. And then, like you said, that tweet didn't even name like some of the guys that we have. I know at a national level are good, like good dudes who are gonna make an impact. Will Lindquist is a beast. JP Burns is a beast. He's maybe our best, person defender. He wasn't even on that list. Christian Gaeta, another incredibly dynamic athlete. Nobody's talking about, I don't want to jinx some of the other signings. We'll see if they come through or not, but we're going to have a super fun team. And, if nothing else, we're making highlights.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't even get a chance to mention, last year we were supposed to add Tyler Kunsa and Michael Fairley back to the team. And so, Tyler brings a different dimension than some of the other players we're talking about. But like, if our cutters end up being good at throwing to other cutters, it could be catch the pole, hit the first under, and then walk down the field for the goal. Like we could be really, really powerful on offense.
Yeah, absolutely. And on defense, some of those guys are incredible. They may not have to play over as much. Yeah, you mentioned Kunsa, I think would be a very key signing for us if we could get him. Always hoping Sperling sticks around, the chosen one. If he, when he puts it together, like that dude is, got unlimited potential as well. So we've got a squad, and I know, the preseason is when every squad thinks they're going to championship weekend, like, oh, we're going to work out and all these things are going to go right. But I've been there before, and I feel differently now than I did then, for sure.
Yeah. And then, we just talked about so many players, they can't all play offense. All right. So someone's going to have to shift over to the defense, and that just ups our conversion rate, right? That's just more goals. So there's a lot of reasons to be optimistic about this squad and what they can do if they come in motivated and healthy. We get a chance to play.
Fingers crossed. That's all I'm hoping for. I'm staying ready. I know the guys around Atlanta are as well. So, at this point, we're just kind of waiting for the word that something's going to happen. And, I think dudes are excited to get out and play this season. And, I know I am.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's a great place to end it. Really excited to have you back. You never know with time away if someone's just like, life's pretty good without every weekend being about ultimate frisbee, but you're a lifer, you're hustle till you die. So we're super excited about that.
Yeah. Can't stop, won't stop. And be there in 2021.